So I say like hi. I'm Owen.
No. Okay. How do you talk about your feelings?
You're such a bad interviewer. Okay, well, my day has been good. How has your day been? Well, I feel like I feel more comfortable opening up around girls, but that's also a lot with my upbringing. Like, I lived always with my mom and my older sister, and my younger sister. So, I've always just been more surrounded with women, and I don't know. It took me, but a long time to like get real like friends. Oh, it's a good question, but I mean, you need to kind of like what. It's a very open. It's too open. You kind of need to.
Can I talk about the last time you
Well, okay. Well, I've always been a mama's boy. I was always a mama's boy. I love my mom. She was great. She passed away when I was 17. But before that, we've always been very close. She was very how do you say that? She was very protective over me because I was just a young, rambunctious child that was 13 and going to the skate park and smoking weed and doing graffiti and stuff. So my mom has always been like she was always kind of like watching me. I remember sometimes she even thought I did heroin. Like one time she checked me for needle mark. I want to like with my masculinity, like how I want to like see that. That's like the total opposite of how my dad has it. Like I want to be like I love him and I see him, and he like gives me inspiration. He's helped me with a lot of stuff, and I look up to him with like work and stuff. But as a person, as like his personality, I don't like. Yeah, I look up to him a bit too. I've seen him grown. He was a young dad when he had me first. He's better now, but still like. It's not like how I want my masculinity to be. My boyhood, like I have to be honest. I'm so happy I'm a boy. I'm so happy I'm a boy. I feel like it's so more like relaxed. I feel we get less social pressure on us from stuff. Um, I'm at my boyhood. Like honestly, like when first, like I said, I only had a few friends when I was, in the basisschool, and I was still kind of finding myself a lot of video gaming. I've had a lot of like video game friends and like played like online competitive shooters and stuff. And then I started skating, graffitiing, and doing photos when I was like 12, 13. And then I found my friend group, and those guys are still my best friends. Like I don't know, boyhood is. I feel like boyhood has a lot of like good connections. Like that's a big part of like boyhood is like kind of like a second family or something. If like especially like my side of it, like those guys. I mean, there were 40 people just from my friends. There were like 80 people in total when my mom passed away at the memorial, and more than half of the people that were there were my friends, and like almost all of them hadn't even met my mom, and then. Yeah, and techno started then a lot. That was the first time when we squatted buildings and we, I mean, the first thing we called it was the Klaus, and it was like this old place where they grew weed, and it was like busted by the police, and we bought like a big circular saw to like drill like a little square in the wall, and you can like crawl through, and then you were like in this bunker. And then we put our systems there, and that was like the first time that we ever like made parties. And now all my friends are also like doing party stuff and that kind of. I don't know. I like boyhood is good. I feel like there's less bitching than if you're in a girl like girlfriend groups.
Oh, that's so cute. It's like a little fur ball. Honestly, throughout my whole life, like when I was younger, I had long, really long hair, like up until my like chest. And every single day almost I would be asked like, are you a girl? Are you a girl? Are you a girl? And of course when you're a boy, your voice is like high pitched, so you don't have like male features, right? But I was just like confused. I was like, what? Like, no, like I'm a guy. Like, you don't think about it too much, but then as you grow up, you're like, wait, what is gender exactly? Like, what is it all about? See, like, dogs don't care. So, you know, it started out fluid anyways, and I was always like growing up with a lot of like girl toys and playing with like Barbies and Monster Highs and Bratz dolls. But it wasn't like, I never identified as a girl, so it wasn't like I'm a girl. It was just like I just enjoy these things. My trans friends asked me this, and she's like, what does it mean for you to be a man? And I was like, I guess like having a dick, but like she has a dick, so she's a woman. It's not having a dick. It's like and then I thought about it deeper, and I was like, it's the privilege. It's literally like, it's the privilege. Like every single man knows what it's like to have like privilege. Like there's like all of us have this underlying feeling of everything is going to be like okay because I'm a man. Like I'm not like, you're telling me about all these like scary things that are happening in Boston. I'm like, well, I'm a man. Like it's like nothing can happen to me. Like not like what, you know, that, and you have that underlying feeling, and that is something I think women don't have, which is sad, which is like the harsh reality. But as I guess like a more feminine man, like when I am in like makeup, when I am in like a cunty outfit, so to speak, I do get a little like anxious and insecure, not because of how I look, but because of like the people around me and how I'm being perceived. So it's like, I do ironically feel safer out in public when I'm dressed more masculine and as a man, but I feel more myself as I am. Like today, I have that like need of like wanting to grow more muscles, and like, you know, like every guy has that, like we want to just like work out our body. Like I wouldn't expect a woman to be lifting up water bottles and, you know, or whatever, you know, like I don't want a woman to be doing that. Like I don't care if she's strong, you should not be doing that. Like let a man do it. That's what a man is for. Like that's literally why we're here, to be carrying your shit. I guess that's also my Romanian aspect, like because we are very cultural that way of like opening the door for a woman and like buying her gifts or something like that. It just comes naturally to me as a man as well, and that should be expected of all men. Well, I do think everyone is bisexual, and I do think every guy is like attracted to it. You know what I mean? Like you can't play with your dick and not find yourself attractive. So you have to have a little gayness to like yourself. And like the irony is like all women, they have like no issue of like, oh, I like kissing girls. Like every girl I talk to, they have no problem with like being seen as like bi, but all guys, like a lot of guys have like issues with being seen as bi. I mean, yeah, I see those like wrestlers and stuff, and I'm like, just make out, just like make like.
When are you guys gonna start making out?
I love my mom. I'm such a mommy's boy, and I've always been a mom's boy, and like she is my heart. Like honestly, I absolutely adore my mom, and she's like, I would say the only reason I am who I am. I mean, I've had a weird relationship with my dad. Like when I was a kid, like it was fine, like because we would like do a lot of like physical activities together, like go swimming and like biking together. So it's something that like I've learned recently, like to release these expectations of my dad of like having the same emotional connection that I have with my mom, because all my like emotions all come from my mom. Like all this like deep love that I feel for life is like because of the love that she gave me, you know. It's like a cycle, but then I'm like, oh, I don't get the same kind of love from my dad. Yeah, I was always annoyed, and I was more annoyed like exactly that he never really taught me anything about like being a man. Like he's not a man, you know what I mean? Like I'm more of a man than him, and that's like the sad truth. Like it's like the way my dad treats women is not manly. So I don't know. I think the way you treat women is what represents your manhood, and I think that's which is funny. It's like women is what define manhood. Like that is a question in itself.
You know, that's the thing. Like putting your feet up is like the hardest part, in my opinion.
Okay. How does it feel to be a boy? Now, I don't feel like a boy necessarily, but I think being a boy is like, what's like a good metaphor for this? Being a boy is like a rock, you know, you're just like sitting there, you know, feeling it, feeling the nature around you, and it's like you just lock the fuck in, you know, about being a boy. But yeah, you got certain responsibilities. You have to like, how do you say, the normen en waarden? Yeah, I think I'm a mom child actually, because my dad was always working and my mom was just sticking around and like feeding me and stuff. Did I ever been in love? Yeah, I don't know if I ever been in love. Don't know. Yeah, I want to be romantic so bad, but because I'm probably getting older. But when I was like younger, it was more about, you know, pleasure and stuff. Yeah, it's like your best friend, but also sexual, you know. And yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question.
Yeah.
You know, when I have sex, I don't necessarily feel good about it.
But what?
You know, because,
what-
especially when it's not one night stand. But then you just tell the boys, it's like, oh yeah, man, it was great, bro. It was like.
But why do you not?
Ja, ik weet niet hoe ik moet zeggen. Het is ook een lastige vraag. It's like difficult questions. Goddamn. Like fucking wrecking stuff, vandalize it, like doing adventures, climbing shit, doing stupid shit. I more feel like a person, you know. I don't necessarily feel like I'm a boy, that's a girl.
Heb je
I'm
vaak...
pretty open-minded, you know.
Heb je vaak iets is wat we gewoon zeggen?
But it's fun to do things like it's fun to do things that are out of pocket, you know.
Dingen die niet mogen.
Yeah.
Je moet dus even zeggen.
Fuck the bro code.
How does it feel to be a boy? It feels nice. I did in my youth, in my earlier years, have a period of time where I was confused about just my identity in this world, and I considered the possibility seriously that I should have been born a girl, and I came up with the concept that I should have been born a girl, and I was convinced of it for a long time. I've definitely had the experience where I've felt this sort of masculine energy. I don't really know if that's an intrinsic thing, if that's even real, but what society would call masculine traits, I've felt that. I've felt that inside of me. And I think it's nice to explore that as well. I think it's beautiful. Although I don't know if, I don't know if masculinity, femininity is real. I don't know who determines what is real in that sense. I think I feel more comfortable opening up to fuck, I don't know. My immediate answer would have been men. And there's certain things that I feel more comfortable sharing with men. There are some things that sort of a maternal presence makes me feel more comfortable with sharing. I think this, for example, I feel more comfortable doing it because you're a woman. I feel more comfortable in sharing these things. There's no drug under the sun or combination of drugs under the sun. Nothing. There's nothing I can take that will get me closer to God, that will get me closer to myself, that will make me feel more grounded, that will make me feel better. There's just nothing I can do in this sort of direction that will help me. Although I am by no means a sort of spiritual master, and I do not want to come across like that. I think men are under 1,000 influences nowadays, especially online, and I'm gonna sound like a boomer, but it's true. And no one really knows what the fuck to do. And there's people that are funneled into the direction of hyper masculinity, whatever that means. And there's people that are like recoil from that. And they're like, I don't want this for myself. I can't do this. And I think that goes in the direction of hyper femininity in men. And I'm not saying either is wrong, but hyper masculinity is wrong a little bit. And hyper femininity, I think, like, is fine, I guess. But I think it's also a result of not being in touch with ourselves. I think that's also for women if they're hyper feminine. And it's changed how I look. I went from being anorexic and very insecure, but not even insecure, questioning my identity as a man, to still feeling insecure, but not questioning my identity as a man. And I think that's nice.
Woo! Rose in the middle. DJ Rose. DJ Rose.
Des machos ringards, des machos clichés, des macho men.